Hello? Is that better? Weird. Yeah, I don't know. Let me fix it real quick. Sorry about that. Alrighty. It's pulling from. I think that's okay. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. All right. Thank you guys. Let me know if I sound weird at all. Still getting used to my new computer setup. There's some wonky settings still out of place here. Good afternoon, folks. Appreciate you stopping by. Today playing Wurg Deserts. This was voted to be played today in a traditional standard event. Jaden, shout out to you, brother. I feel like I recall you leaving a comment on this video saying that this was definitely more of a control flavor than anything. And I said, I think I beg to differ, but I'm willing to concede that it is definitely the controllier leaning version of a Deserts build. A lot of upfront removal. But I think there's a lot of there are a lot of reasons to be doing that in the meta right now. At the very least, if you're expecting things like mono green and Is It Prowess. Though truth be told, those decks have, at least in my experience, fallen out of favor a little bit on the latter. At the very least, the meta at large, who knows? But I think there are reasons to be doing this strategy. First and foremost, white gets some of the best removal. If you think about it as a mid-range list with pretty good top end, I think that's a pretty reasonable framework to look at it from. We get powerful 3-drop creatures, an Outcaster Greenblade, Free Strider Lookout, so on and so forth. But yes, we are conceding some amount of card advantage from the traditional Jeskai control lists. Just Jam Revelation. I feel like we could definitely play one Jeskai Revelation, right? We have the mana to be able to do that. Probably consistently hitting our land drops with Greenblade and Free Strider Lookout, so on and so forth. So, yes, this is definitely more of a control-leaning build, but I think there are like pretty good arguments to be on. Outcaster Greenblade and Freestrider Lookout. I mean, it's what makes deserts, right? Just Jam Jeskai Rev. In this list, Bonnie did get cut from Meringue River Regent just for a little more, you know, it's a big body. It enters, it's relevant in all modes, and just having access to like the like counter magic that we do in our sideboard and our main board here. Having more options at instant speed, I think, is kind of important. I'm not saying this is the end-all be-all version. This was a test build, and it played pretty well. I'm excited to test it out again. So, should we put in a Jeskai Rev? Nah, let's skip it for now. This is pretty much the same list as I played on video a week or two ago. But one small flip-flop, I put a Wanshi Tong in the main and cut down I swapped a Wanshi Tong between the main and the sideboard. Let's hop into an event here. Yeah, Jaden. So Jaden says, honestly, the worst downside of playing Jeskai or blue-white in this meta is not being able to be proactive. If you have enough ramp/land drops, which also doubles this board state, I could see green being worth. Exactly, like, being able to consistently hit your land drops is the huge advantage of this. How often are you, as a, like, Jeskai or blue-white control player, like, desperately casting a stock up on turn 3 just to be able to hit your, like, future land drops? I'm sure it happens all the time. Howdy, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Nacho, Jay Sather, Depot, good to see you all. We're playing Wurg Deserts. Mostly it's Bant Deserts up front, splashing into red for Pyroclasms. That's about it. It's spicy Bant. I think this is close to keepable. If we hit one more untapped source, we're pretty much unlocked, or any sort of source. I think this is fine. And if we have to desperately seam rip something on turn 2, we can filter through the conduit pylons here. I think I'm going to rip this one. Yeah, I agree our win cons are definitely worse in the long game, Jaden, compared to Jeskai control. Like, we don't have the threat of just ripping 4 Jeskai Revs over the course of the game. Never punished for the keep. Temple Garden on top, right where it needs to be. Opponent leads on a Rogue's Passage. All right, here we go. Here we go again, y'all. Traditional standard events, doing traditional standard event things. Bloom Tender. Well, that's something, but what's with the Rogue's Passage? Let's go ahead and cycle an Armadillo. Let's get our double... let's get a blue-white source here. I think that makes sense. We don't have a whole lot of double green in the deck. And we don't have blue yet, but we do have double white. Quite a lot of double white. Grab our one of Lonely Arroyo. Just go ahead and seam rip the Bloom Tender. Curious about the Rogue's Passage. Depot says, been watching a lot of pre-release content. Resonating loot seems broken. What's resonating loot? Curious to hear about that. Bender's Waterskin. Jay Sather says, you always get the crazy opponents in the first couple rounds. Yeah, dude. I don't really understand it, but I do get some interesting opponents here. We'll go ahead and cycle the Beza. Pretty solid turn for us here. I do get some interesting opponents. I don't know what it is. Sky Serpent Seeker on the field. Sky Serpent Seeker, huh? Restless Vinestalk is a good draw. Well, let's just go ahead and seam rip this. Open up swings for our Beza. Get aggro. I'm excited for pre-release. I think I'm going tomorrow. I can't go today. I have a date with my family today. For some reason, my father's like, we don't hang out enough, and I'm like, it's because you moved to Florida, and he said, aw, and I said, why don't we try, I don't know, maybe playing a video game together online or something? And he said, okay, but it's got to be something that I can play on Xbox and you can play on PlayStation. And I said, okay. Well, my brother actually was like, what about Monster Hunter? So gonna try to get my dad to play, my 55-year-old dad, 56-year-old dad, to play a little Monster Hunter Wilds with us. Surely that'll go well. Opponent plays a Kona. Play a little Monster Hunter Wilds. We'll see how that goes. Tries to tap their Kona with the braided net is kind of crazy. Probably should have tried to hit them with Restless Vinestalk last turn, but that's okay. Depot1168 says, 4-mana artifact, make every land tap for 2 mana of any color, only cast instants and sorceries, can tap to draw if you have 7 or more cards in hand. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that card does seem kind of nuts. Any mana enablers like that go crazy. They go crazy. It is, you can make the argument that sometimes it's just a 4-mana do-nothing card, but a lot of the time it's going to win the game. Let's just go ahead and clear the blocker here. Make sure I tap properly. Unless they have interaction here, they are dead. And even if they do have interaction, they might be dead anyway. 3 steps ahead. That's fine. But they have to chump with the Teamer Battlecrier here. Really curious to know what my opponent's up to. They tap the Beza. Yeah, that was the wrong choice. Because at least I get to trample for 2 damage here, which is pretty relevant with our deserts. Northwind Avatar. It's just too little too late, y'all. They're out of braided net counters. Restless Vinestalk stays winning. They could scoop it up, but they elect to get hit by my stuff. Alright. 1 in the books. Not a bad start. What a weird start. Kona with extra steps, huh? Do you think they're on Cavern of Souls? It kind of seemed like maybe they weren't on Cavern of Souls. Kind of feels like a Disdainful Stroke angle. Did my opponent fully scoop? Oh no, okay. My arena UI was just bugging out. Take out the Pyroclasms. There's maybe an argument for Day of Judgment if they're like trying to do Teamer Battlecrier stuff. I wonder if they're on Outcaster Trailblazers. I think I'm gonna go down like this. Do I need the Seam Rips? I mean, Seam Rip was kind of relevant in that game. Hits their Sky Seeker Serpents, if that's something we care about. Unagi's maybe a consideration. They are probably going to be drawing some cards. Maybe we go down to just 1 Day of Judgment. No, let's cut a Seam Rip. How relevant could that be? Try it like that. Jay Sather says, aging myself, but I have fond memories of watching my dad play games on NES and playing OG Tetris against him on the OG Game Boy, tethered with a cable. He stopped playing games, but I did not. Yeah, my dad's still fighting the good fight, even though every time we try to play anything together, he plays for 10 minutes and says, no, this is too complicated, I'm done. But we persevere. We try anyway. Devin Fuller says, honestly, the fact that Planetarium is an option in the side makes me love this deck. I want that card to be playable so bad. It's been interesting. I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced yet, but in matchups where your opponents aren't likely to be able to deal with it, it just gives you a diverse angle, right? And it's looked okay in some matchups, but I will admit it has looked less than okay in others. Let's go ahead and mulligan this. This is good-ish. Let's just get rid of the Spell Snare here. Double Get Lost could be relevant, at least buys us a good bit of time until we get our third land drop. I'm a big Tetris fan myself, Jay Sather. Not like hardcore, but I do fuck with some Puyo Puyo Tetris on the on Nintendo Switch. They have a desert! Eroded canyon! They don't have a way to... Oh, another green blade on top? Okay. Sure, why not? They don't have a way to tap Kona. No station land quite yet. But we're threatening triple Outcaster Greenblade, which is always a place I'd love to be. What am I playing against? 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 I'm just going to go with a Greenblade. Hit my land drops here. Blue-white. Sounds right to me. What am I playing against? What am I playing against? Sing it with me now, y'all. Ouroboros, Kona Rescue Beastie. Fucking Sky Seeper Serpent. 5 color cards I have. Yep, seems about right. 3 steps ahead on the Ouroboros. Holy shit. Well, I mean, double Get Lost makes me feel pretty good. Also wouldn't mind just drawing an untapped land. Swings in with the Ouroboros. I mean, I guess I just double block? No, wait. That's not enough to kill. Okay, I'll just take it. Oh, untapped land. Awesome. Get absolutely fucked. I banish you back into the Shadow Realm. And they scoop it up. Great. Bonnie Paul wouldn't have been able to do that. Bonnie Paul wouldn't have been able to do that. I'm sorry. You know, Bonnie is great in some matchups, but a 6-drop threat that also just, like, has so much flexibility, maybe a pretty good reason to be on the River Regent there. Ooh, what am I playing against? Jay Sather says, regarding Tetris, I'm pretty good, but I am not able to do the crazy T-spin combos and whatnot. Can't rewire my brain to that playstyle. Yeah, me either. Me either. But it's fun to play casually. It's fun to play casually. On the play, 1 lander. Can't keep that. This is okay. It's definitely pretty, like, weak on the spectrum of keepable hands. Let's put back the Sandstorm Verge here. We need a little help from my opponent. Double white might keep me in the game for a little while. Spell Snare is probably a really good draw. I think I'm going to play a tap to Braided Bluffs, try to lull my opponent into a false sense of security, so they maybe run out a Slick Shot Show-Off. They don't have a Slick Shot Show-Off. We draw into an Outcaster Greenblade, and my opponent is representing basically garbage. We'll leave a Seam Rip in the deck. I mean, there's no way this is like Essence Scatter, right? Or what? I don't know. That's so weird for like a prowess opponent to just do nothing on turn 2. Let's grab double white here. White green seems fine. Oh, not prowess, lessons. Okay. I don't know where my head was there. Not prowess lessons. Well, I think we're off to a pretty decent start here. They go for a Boomerang Basics, putting enough lessons in their graveyard to Combustion Technique, if that's what they have. Under Nacho says, I'm currently on Hollow Knight Silk Song. It tests so much my patience. Gang, for some reason, I started playing World of Warcraft. I don't know why. I don't know what happened in my brain. One day I woke up and I said, I think I'm going to play a little WoW. So I've been playing a warrior on the Burning Crusade Anniversary Edition Classic patch. I'm at level 22, but I got to admit, I think I'm losing steam already. Well, this is kind of an unfortunate start here. Day of Judgment looks pretty good, but opponent's off to a pretty good start. Let's go ahead and leave up a blue source for the Spell Snare. Try to sneak out an advantage there. Hit you with the Day of Judgment. I drew a Get Lost for the Ral. But I think it makes sense to take the that otter board away here. Let's go ahead and try to spell snare this accumulate wisdom. See if they have the quench. No quench. Okay, well, Pyroclasm is an insane draw for us here. Pyroclasm is absolutely crazy. Hit you with the Pyroclasm. Try to hit you with the Get Lost. Cross our fingers that their last card isn't Spell Snare. Okay! Better lucky than good. Better lucky than good. And then Wan Shi Tong primed and ready here. Opponent's probably just going to spend their turn firing up the Storm Chasers, picking up an Accumulate Wisdom, and that does look pretty good. I think we go for the tap out Wan Shi Tong here. There's not maybe much of a reason to fully cast this, other than maybe it having a slightly higher toughness is relevant. Probably not. I think I'm going to just cast it for 4 here. Although I could... How about I play a mountain first and then cast it for 4 in case I draw a Spell Snare? Playing it now to play around Quench, but they could just Firebending Lesson it. Okay. Fair enough. Pretty good draws. Keeps us in the game for a little longer. Legend of Karuk. Much more mid-rangey sort of Lessons build we're against here. Who even knows if they're on Monument? They're fully tapped out. Well, let's just commit to the board here. See if they can deal with a green blade. Sandstorm Virgin hand. Grab a ping land. Can start firing up our man land next turn. Put them to 11. That's not bad. That's not bad. Still, somehow they have a million cards in hand. Devin Fuller says, pretty interested to see how the deal 4 to each creature and Planeswalker card from Strixhaven performs. Is that the 5-mana one that could also draw 4? The Is It card? Iris Demonstration onto the Freestrider Lookout. Combustion Technique onto the Green Blade. Draw a Seam Rip. Yeah, that just might be it. I mean, I'm going to do what I can here and try to beat in with the Vinestalk. Hope they don't have another Combustion Technique, I guess. Is that all 4? No, 3. Okay. Pretty good. I guess I'll pass. I could Seam Rip the Storm Chaser's talent, but I think I'd rather try to make them tap out for it first. See if they commit to fully leveling it up. Stock up. Yeah, pretty unlikely to come back from this position at this point. Our next top deck has to be like some form of card advantage that draws us into more card advantage. But they're just going to bury me in stock ups. Okay. Scoop that one up. Let's bring in Rest in Peace. Do we want that Beza? Go down a couple Get Losts. It's fine here. I don't think we want the full Rest in Pieces either. They might just not fight me on that eventually. Esper Origins dies to my own Rest in Peace. Winter Night Stories is still kind of playable. I do hear Stock Up is pretty good. Bring in the Oko. Lessons typically has trouble dealing with Planeswalkers. Bring in the Unagi. Bring in the Cease Desist. Go down the Winter Night Stories. Let's cut the Day of Judgments. Let's go up the Planetarium. Seems okay here. Beza is probably right. Yeah, I agree with you, Jaden. It's hard to recover with this list sometimes, for sure. But, you know, that's the price you pay when you have a better, more proactive, a better proactive plan, like better curve outs, at least, compared to, like the Jeskai control lists. I'm going to go ahead and keep a Rest in Peace hand. I don't actively have green other than the filtering from the Conduit Pylons, but I think this is okay. Gran. Get you with the Rest in Peace here. Do we want to send the Armadillo to the Shadow Realm? I mean, if I draw it, this guarantees I can cycle for a forest next turn. I think I'll just take it. Thanks, Nacho. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Appreciate you. What up, Ravenheartization? Sultai Go is back, except today we are on Bant Deserts, plus red. Spicy Bant. Spicy Bant. Yep, Devin, you might be right. Maybe they're just trying to win with their generic sort of decent like token flood, but even then, I think we can win with like our Bezas in that case. I don't think we really need Pyroclasms or board wipes or whatnot. I could be wrong. I could have the read wrong on that, but I think fighting them on their otters is probably a losing strategy. Get hit by the Gran. They could be representing counter magic at this point. I could grab a blue source and plan to go for the Coil and Catch instead of the Green Blade. I guess an island lets me cast the Green Blade too. Let's grab an island here. Seam Rip for Gran. Gran doesn't matter that much right now. I think I'm going to go for the island here and plan to Coil and Catch. See if they rip a 2-mana spell. Let's go for the Coil and Catch. I don't think we care about Seam Rip anymore. Gran pretty well shut down. Oh, I didn't realize I got a replacement effect here. Shuffle in. That's interesting. Gran kind of matters. Yeah, the draw discard is kind of relevant, I guess. But I don't think it's necessarily worth fighting over that much. Taps out for a Ral. Could die to Ral. Could die to Ral for sure. Draw into a desert. I'm not going to complain about that too much. They have to bounce my Green Blade is pretty much where they're at. I could just grab a colored source here. I eventually need double blue to cast this river region. I think that's kind of what I'm angling toward here. Let's grab the Lonely Arroyo. It'll put us behind a little bit, but at the very least we'll have our colors for our spells in the future. Rolls down the Ral. Roaring Furnace. I guess so, yeah. Deals with my Green Blade. A lot of cards in hand, but I also have a lot of cards in hand. They have a better board. But a lot of the effectiveness of their spells has been neutered. Bez is kind of a nice draw, if it resolves. Maybe I just jam the Oko here. Kind of bait out the counter magic for the Beza. I think I'm in a better position if I get Beza to resolve. And Oko's not bad. I can just make an Elk. Quenches the Oko. Yes. Hit you with the Heath. Legend of Karuk. Okay. Not super scary. I could maybe just go for a River Regent here, actually. Bounce the Otters, threaten to kill Ral. Or maybe I just bounce the Legend of Karuk. Keep that out of my life. Tapped out? Yeah, I feel like this is a River Regent angle, right? Although if I go for Beza, I can hold up Counter Magic. That is true. If I go for Beza, I can hold up Counter Magic, and then maybe actually just threaten to kill Ral instead. I think I'm going to go for Beza. Skip on a Restless Vinestalk. I don't get a redraw here, but I get Life and Otters, which is a pretty big deal. I could just bounce Ral and bounce Legend of Karuk. That slows them down quite a lot. And then eventually Beza deals with the Otters. Okay, let's go with this. Not confident, but I think that's okay. Cast a stock up? Why? That's weird. In what world? Like, they're just trying to hit their land drops, maybe? Cast a stock up when you have gas. Why? Not contributing to the board at all. Bounces the River Regent, yeah. But now you just have 3 mana. Torpor Orb. Torpor Orb? Well, Torpor Orb. What's up, good? What's up, homie? What's good, homie? Torpor Orb, huh? Yeah, I don't know if I can beat Torpor Orb. I don't think I can beat Torpor Orb. Well, they figured it out. I guess let's put an Oko on the field. Make an Elk for blocks. And then we can... Oh, I was going to say we could Cease Desist for life, but somehow I cannot. Yeah, I'm just dead. Okay. Alright. Well, kind of a weird match. Pretty unexpected list of cards from my opponent there. I'm not going to feel too bad about that. They played fine. Got a little hosed by Torpor Orb from downtown. Maybe the River Regent was not correct in retrospect. Algerheim says, I forgot you were streaming today. Oops. It's okay. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Appreciate you stopping by. Love you. On to match 3. 1-1. Playing against Simon the Salmon. I swear I've played against Simon the Salmon before. This is an okay hand. We can get tricky with our Spell Snare here. Opponent mulligans. Another Is It list. Okay. Storm Chaser's Talent. Seam Rip. Let's just go ahead and lead on a tapped Temple Guard and get a little more information. Gran. Looking like lessons. Part 2. The rematch. Well, let's go for the Seam Rip on the Gran. It looked kind of good, Jaden. Yeah, it looked good. I like it. I mean, people are prepared for the Monument matchup, right? But if you just play fair stuff, like, it's kind of like an interesting mid-range build almost, where you just have better card advantage than other decks. Skip on a Day of Judgment here. Let's go for the Green Blade. Higher upside if this resolves, I think. Pretty unlikely to die to their stuff if this resolves. Goes for the Quench. Down to only 2 cards, though. Stuck on 2 lands. Ravenheartization asks, what you most excited to play for Strixhaven? A lot of good Golgari cards I'm excited for, specifically for the Golgari mid-range deserts lists. Let's go for a free starter lookout here. Hold up a spell snare. That should be pretty good. Less dead draws than normal lessons, but less value slop. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, sometimes they have like just really weird hands where it's like 2 monuments and nothing to actually do with them. But probably I got to assume less like straight up to potential to just outright kill your opponent, which is something Lessons is pretty good at. Go ahead and swing for 3 here. What about Golgari Roots? I'm not a huge Roots fan. If there was like maybe a 5 through 8 of that effect that added some consistency to the list, I might like it more. But I think I don't necessarily like that. I guess I just go for the 3 steps ahead here. I don't necessarily like that you kind of live or die by the Roots a little bit. There's no way they have another Quench. I guess even if they do have another Quench, like, this is all fine. Tapped Temple Garden. They find and accumulate Wisdom. Back at parity. I am quite ahead on lands, though. Another Spell Snare is nice. Spell Snare means I can kind of just run out the river region if I want, but definitely in this position it's just better to go for the card advantage mode. Let's just do that now. Do I play the forest first? I don't think it matters. Yeah, let's tap like this. Oh. Wait. I am so bad at casting spells on Arena, I swear. I'm so bad at casting spells on Arena. I guess I'm going to target this for crimes. They can have Otter. I don't think that matters that much. I'm so bad at casting spells on Arena. And it's like, I've been making videos for how long now? Not that long, but long enough that I should be better. I meant to coil and catch. Sorry, folks. Sorry, folks. It's the rabbits all over again. Shout out to anyone that watched my recent Black-White Aristocrats video. The ADHD gets the better of me sometimes. Gran. Gotta catch up on chat here in a second. Soul-type control, go to lessons. Don't tap first. Listen, I was tapping 4 mana. Right? To cast the coil and catch, just to get my mana correct, so I didn't get got by auto tap, and then I clicked the wrong piece and then got by auto tap anyway. So I think my problem is possibly that I have auto tap turned on, and I wonder if I didn't with my previous computer, and it's just like catching me off guard. In this case, at least. Do I get lost the Gran? Is this just the rematch, like the actual run back? Am I actually just playing against the same deck? Main deck Ral? Swinging in with the Otter. You got it, dude. Enjoy. Accumulate Wisdom. Gonna spell snare that. And I will fight you over this. We get a Restless Vine Stalk, huge. Yeah, I got mana to pay for Quench. Try me. Try me, motherfucker. 3 steps ahead. Okay. If I get lost the Gran now, are they just dead? 5, 11, almost. If I get lost the Gran and then crime their Otter and hit a ping land, they are dead. Oh, they shock themselves. Iroh's Demonstration. I guess I maybe should have thought about get losting the Gran. much earlier, because this allows them to do a lot more in retrospect. But I am going to go for this, just to be able to hit them for pretty big here. I mean, who's to say they would even chump at that point? Maybe it's a little bit of a waste, but I think that's okay. They do have 2 big threats to deal with. Can they deal with my flying river region? In retrospect, maybe casting it was okay. Hindsight being 2020. Basics on the talent. Is a board of otters. We've got a board of otters. They scoop it up. Knowing what we know now, have we given up on the Naya Kithkin? No. I play a million different decks. I like the Naya Kithkin. This is just what I'm playing today. Hilson asks, have we given up on the Naya Kithkin? I like Naya Kithkin. I've played that deck a lot off stream after making the video. It's just like, do you guys want to see me play Naya Kithkin on video like multiple times? Is kind of the question, I guess. I had my fun with it for the channel. Post board, knowing what we know now. Maybe we do keep in the Pyroclasms just to keep them off of. They seem a little more all in on the make a little wide board. I built that in paper, right? I have, yes, I bought the Catharses for paper. I have the deck in paper. I'm excited to play it. I still need like a Sacred Foundry and maybe the Verges if I want to get around to doing that, but someday I will bring that to FNM, yes. Let's go up the Pyroclasms. Let's try that out. Go down the Day of Judgments. Maybe we don't need the Disdainful Strokes that badly in this matchup. Go up the Beza. Go up the Unagi. Down the Winter Night Stories. We definitely want a couple Rest in Peace. Maybe down a Get Lost. This feels a little smarter. Pyroclasm to manage their boards while we just Rest in Peace their like card advantage away. I think I like Oko still. Probably cut a land. How many are we playing? 26? Sure. I'm not sure that Sandstorm Verge is that relevant here. Let's try it like this. Do I ever play Best of One? Asks DPO1168. Basically never, no. Basically never. I've always, I mean, since I started playing Magic, it's been a best of three game for me. It just makes the most sense. I started in paper, right? I started before Arena was the thing. Gonna keep this. It's not a perfect hand, but we do have a Rest in Peace. Pretty decent colors. Heath is not a bad draw. Heath is not a bad draw. Abraded Bluffs. Let's just hit them with the bluffs and pass it here. See if they decide to tap out. Let me resolve this Rest in Peace. Outcaster Greenblade. I guess I go for a Greenblade here. I wonder if I can bait out like a 3 steps ahead. They could just quench this, but I mean that's kind of true at any point in the game. Or with any card here. The Greenblade resolves. They could go for like a Seer. Definitely grabbing a blue source here. We already have red. We don't really need more red. Let's go blue, white. I guess we don't really need more white either. Let's go blue, red. Maybe someday we'll need to double Pyroclasm. Rips and Accumulate Wisdom. That's fine. That is fine. Iris Demonstration. Okay. Pretty good answer. Let's go for the Lookout. I have a feeling that's going to resolve. It does resolve. Do Crimes. Do Crimes bigly. Hit a Vine Stalk. Double blue for the Unagi is nice. I want this dub. I want the revenge. The salty run back. Back to back. Is it lessens mid-range? Spire Bluff Canal. Looking like a damn eroded canyon over there. Worse than an eroded canyon. Didn't even deal 1 damage to me. I think what I do is I go for the Seam Rip first. Does that make sense? Or maybe I go for the Rest in Peace? How do I play this? Seam Rip is a crime. I do want the Rest in Peace down. I guess if I go for Seam Rip, it lets me Beza as well. I can always crime off the Heath, though. Negate. So, oh, but this isn't a lesson. So they're not actually really any closer to the cost reduction here. Go for the Rest in Peace, huge. Hit you with the crime. I think we're gonna win this one. I'm super ahead on mana. And ahead on cards. Better board. Feeling pretty good. Feeling like a big dub. To respond to your earlier message, Hilson, thinking of building it. Unfortunately, it is Modern season now. Shout out to all the Modern playing homies. I am kind of a Modern playing homie. It was one of my favorite formats when I was in college, which is about 10 years ago, which is kind of crazy to say out loud. But stun locked by that for a moment. I picked it up here and there in years since, and I have all of the cards together, almost all of the cards together, to play a little Agatha Soul Cauldron action in Modern, a little Bant Energy, the Walking Ballista Leonardo combo. Excited to check that out. I mean, if I just land the Unagi here, can they do anything about it? Probably not, right? Yeah, it feels like this game plan is a little more susceptible to Rest in Peace because they're relying on their card advantage a little more heavily. Whereas, like, there are games against the Monument Lessons build where they just go turn 2 Talent, turn 3 Monument, and they don't really actually give a shit about Rest in Peace. But it looks like that version needs the card advantage to really survive. I don't know, though. More interactive, for sure. Which is not necessarily a con. Alright, 2-1. On to match 3, or match 4 here. Spell Snare City. Spell Snare City is probably okay. They do have stock up Karuk Ral for extra card advantage, sure. That's true. That's true. Restless Anchorage, Temple of Enlightenment. Well, I'm just going to jam. 1 mana available here. That's true, Jaden. You make a good point. I'll concede to that. They do have other forms of card advantage that are not reliant on their graveyard. They just did not find it. Ooh, we draw a Crescent Heath. Do a ping, do crimes. Regarding Modern, Hilson says, I have blue-white, white-blue for my Scepter Charm, but there is a new Arrayo deck running around. Problem is it requires 4 Mox Opal, 4 Mox Amber. Yeah, the Aspiring Spike list. I saw that the other day. I was like, what is going on here? But it kind of makes sense, I guess. It kind of makes sense. It's a pretty interesting list. Seems miserable to play against if they do resolve it, like their little combo interaction. Ooh, Spell Snare kind of looking clutch here. Keep my Lookout alive. Pass it back to you. See if they have another piece of 2-mana interaction that we get to hit with the Spell Snare. And they do. Do a crime? Grab another Restless Vinestock here. Free Strider Lookout, part 2. I could just go... I think I Shock and I Coil and Catch here, right? Because I get to pay for a 3 steps ahead if that's what they have. No 3 steps ahead. Let's just discard the Day of Judgment. It kind of seems like they have nothing. And even if they have a board wipe here, I think it's worth it to force the issue. Oh, I already played a land. That's right. Oh, I already played a land. It would have been nice to be able to double crime here. Now, if they Day of Judgment, maybe I'm not feeling that good. Ultima. But I think that's okay, actually. Because we just get an Oko on the field. And they're going to have a hard time dealing with this, I think. We get to Oko and we get to Winter Night Stories here. Another River Regent. Let's just discard removal. Get rid of the Seam Rip. Actually, I think this looks okay. Maybe we do want the Pylons. Get a little extra Surveil here. Temple Garden, skip on that. Oko is an Elk for about a millisecond. Three steps ahead. Ripping it to draw 2, discard a card. That's a desperate man's maneuver. We draw an Eroded Canyon. Let's make Elk. Actually, let's ping them and then roll up Oko. Give us a little longevity, because I have lethal on the board anyway. I think I'd rather draw 2 discard here than make another Elk. I don't think making Elk makes our board that much better. We draw into an Elspeth. Go for the Vinestock. Go for the Throat here. And we have backup Vinestock next turn. Copy our Elk, or try to copy the Elk here. That goes through. Spell Snare was kind of the GOAT there in that first game. Everything just kind of lined up so nicely with our Spell Snares. And we only drew 1 Seam Rip, which is also kind of huge. Go down all of the bad cards and bring in all of the good cards for this matchup. All you have to do is go down the bad cards and bring in the good cards. It's that simple. Actually, I think we could probably cut a land as well. I think I like this. Down to 25 lands on the draw. Take out basically our cheap creature interaction. Actually, we don't really need the Day of Judgments either. They could be okay. We don't really need them though. Get Lost is probably better. Cease is probably better. Maybe just having more lands is fine. I don't know. The first Day of Judgment can play okay. Is there any reason to leave in a Seam Rip? Probably not. Probably not. Okay, let's just stick it at these lands. Doge kills Unagi. Yeah. Doge does kill Unagi, but I'm not actually that worried about Unagi. I think Outcaster Greenblade is just bigger. I think 1 Doge is fine, but I think this is okay too. 5 lands, I think so. I'd rather be a little more threat heavy, but I don't think you mulligan this. Seam Rip for Wan Shi Tong. Yeah, Get Lost is just a little more flexible. We don't have perfect information as to what they're working with here. Go for the Heath. Go for our tapped lands first, and then we'll have untapped mana for 4 and 5. This is a hand that does not line up supremely well into their counter magic. Unless I just rip an Outcaster Greenblade here, then I'm kind of in a great spot. Jaden says, I think Wan Shi Tong isn't a given, but every control deck plays Unagi. Yeah. But I'm not that worried about Unagi, to be honest. Maybe I should be. I could be wrong. Let's just go ahead and cycle the Seas here. Pretty unlikely that they decide to interact with this. They do decide to interact with this. Maybe they are on Shiko after all. Okay, well, I'm definitely just going to jam an Oko. We have a replacement here. Could also just jam a Beza. I'm going to go for the Oko. You just spent a negate. Do you have the No More Lies? They have a Consult the Star Charts? Why did you negate the Cease? Why did you negate the Cease? Brother, get a load of this guy. Why did they negate the Cease? Get lost on the Oko. Fine. But can you beat 3/3 Elk? They tap out to Lightning Helix the Elk. No patience. Not an ounce of patience demonstrated by my opponent. Not an ounce of patience. Resolve our Elspeth. Northwind Avatar. On the field. People are loving this card. It seems like a pretty fun card. Definitely something I could get into. Shout out to anyone that went back in my in my YouTube channel history, back to the archives, and watched my very first upload on this channel from 7 years ago, which is Teamer Adventures utilizing a wishboard, Northwind Avatar style. Pretty fun times. Get lost the Avatar here. Oko can make 2 Elk with Elspeth on the field. That's kind of fun. I will also tap out. Let's get double blue. Make soldiers. They'll gain a little life, but I don't think that matters. Yeah, it seems like a pretty good best of one card, actually, for that reason, Depot. That's a good point. They tap out for Wan Shi Tong. I mean, I guess I kind of demonstrated that I have counter magic, but still. Yeesh. Can I just find lethal here? Fire up the Restless Vinestock, counters on all my guys, turn my soldier into a 3/3. They have to block the green blade. They take 12. No, sorry, 8, 9, 10, 16. They go to 1. I think I like those odds. I guess they can block my Restless Vinestock. Devin Fuller says, I cannot express how much I dislike authority. When it's good, it's fucking good. That's true though. It is not very fun to play against sometimes, but at the same time, it doesn't really do a whole lot to us here. But when it is good, it's freaking all-star status. It's insanely polarizing, you know? For just one little mana, check out this neat trick. Mono red players hate him. You know I'm always packing at least one authority in my Bright Glass Gear Hulk lists. Because when you stick it, it doesn't matter when you stick it. Usually you just win the game after. Volatile Fault on my conduit pylons here. Fear not. I am playing basics. Do you have the board wipe? Day of Judgment. Okay. I can't go for the desert kill. Wait. Oh! We found the angle. Get lost the authority of the consoles. I was going to say they're just going to gain a life, but we get lost the authority. Tutor with the green blade. Find a desert. Go for the ping kill. Oh, baby. That's a good old-fashioned 3-in-1. If all creatures came in tapped, Jay Sather, I think the play draw difference would be like extremely exacerbated. No, imagine like being on the draw against an aggressive deck, and your creatures couldn't block the turn they enter. Don't you just lose? Don't you just lose? Final game, or final match here, on the draw, or sorry, final match on the play. Final match on the play against Peter. I think I'm going to keep this. It's not great, but it's okay. Probably better than mulliganing. Blind. Can we believe we're here already? The fastest desert league that's ever deserted. On the final match already. I mean, this could be a 50-minute match right here, but pretty fast, no? Yes, but it's crazy strong at 1 mana. Maybe it should cost 2. I think it's all about context, right? It's like, it's crazy strong against cards that care about creatures coming in. Basically, it's crazy strong against haste, but not all decks have haste. The same way Soul Guide Lantern is crazy strong against graveyard shenanigans, but not all decks have graveyard shenanigans, you know? It's a dead card. It's a sideboard card, right? Sideboard cards tend to be quite a bit more efficient than main deckable cards, but more narrow. The third Storm Chasers talent matchup of the league. It is very polarizing, Jay Sather, and it does suck to be on the other end of it for sure. I guess I go tapped Temple Garden here, and then I have options next turn. I can probably just cycle the Armadillo, decide if I want to Day of Judgment, like if they commit another threat to the board here. I'm thinking of playing a powered cube after this, by the way. I think that would be fun for me. I think that sounds like fun, so I'm leaning toward doing that. Does that sound good to everyone? I might just do it anyway. It sounds kind of fun right now, and I've got some gems burning a hole in my pocket, so. Boomerang Basics. Let's see if they play another Storm Chasers talent here. Is this actually mono blue? Why is this Multiversal Passage on blue? All right. 1 Storm Chasers talent and a dream. Dare you to swing. I dare you to not swing, imagine. Dare you to not swing. Oh, they are swinging. Imagine that. Cyclone Armadillo. Let's grab an untapped source here. Little Conduit Pylons action. Get a Surveil going. Get Lost on top. I mean, at least it's a real card. Does it help us that much right now? Probably not. It is a real card, though. Go for the Day of Judgment. Hope that does anything for us. Cross our fingers. I mean, it really sucks that they have, like, a pretty good aggressive board and a handful of cards still. Imagine that. Shocks in a Steam Vents. This is an Eddie Merc Crab angle on account of them having 4 mana here. I think I'm going to play my Sandstorm Verge first. Go for a Free Strider Lookout. Depot says you should try Mono Blue Elementals with Eluge, Eddie Merc, and Sunderflock. Yeah, but I could do that, or I could play, like, new decks instead. You know what I mean? Flashes in the Eddie Merc. Go for the Get Lost here. Do Crimes. Spell Snare on top. No. Little Small Potatoes. I'm not... Depot, I'm just not that interested in net decking for the channel. If I have like an idea to contribute to a known meta list, then I'm willing to kind of do that. Yeah, I'm willing to like if I think there's an angle on a known meta list that people haven't considered or could be interesting, I'm willing to try that out. But I'm really not that interested in just play Mono Blue Elementals, you know? Oh, okay. Meant that for Hill. Okay. Then I'm sorry. Shots withdrawn. Shots withdrawn. My bad. Net decking does go against my religion. Yes, thank you for respecting that. Appreciate that. I feel like the day I net deck is the day I kind of die. Now, I'm willing to net deck in formats that I'm not that familiar with. Like, I'm going to net deck in Modern because I haven't played Modern in, like, years at this point. But once I start to get the hang of the meta and understand the meta, then all bets are off. I'm definitely just going to start playing some garbage at that point. Once I feel like I can get away with it. Jay Sather says, chillax, Eric. Haha. I'm chillaxed, bro. I'm chillaxed. It's just, someone left a comment on one of my videos the other day saying, you should play Mono Blue Elementals. So, I think you were getting some, Depot was catching some, undeserved strays from that, like, from remembering that I also got, that this was, in my head, the second time someone was asking me to play Mono Blue Elementals. And it's just like, I don't know. Have you heard of Mono Red Aggro? Why don't we sleeve up Mono Red Aggro? Green Blade on top. I mean, I'm probably dead. Maybe I'm supposed to skip on the Green Blade here. If they just have another crab, I'm definitely dead. Why don't you enjoy a slightly larger Slick Shot show off? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't. All comments withdrawn. All comments withdrawn. What do they have? Do they have 4 lands in hand too? Get out. Replay their shit and kill me? Okay. Fair enough. Pippin9951 asks, what are your thoughts on Commander? I love that other people are doing it. I don't want any part in it, is basically what my thoughts on Commander are. I do wish. I think it's weird that the most popular format in Magic is also probably the worst entry into Magic, because it's much easier to learn a 1v1 format, and the card pools, if you're playing like Standard, are much smaller. Also, people talk about how, like, you can play Commander on a budget, but, like, try showing up to a store, like an LGS, playing Commander on a budget, and then, like, never want to play Commander again, probably, right? I don't like that it involves politics in a game that otherwise should be, I think, relatively emotionless, as far as, like, my feelings about my opponent goes. I think game decisions should just be strategic and not about, but he's winning and I have less cards in hand. Why are you attacking me? You know, I don't really, I don't care to engage in that so much. But those are just my thoughts. You know, I played it a lot in college. It was a great time in college when we were all into it and we all had decks, and it was just a bunch of friends playing similar power level decks, you know. But now, I probably want the Get Lost. Do I want the Cease? I think maybe the first Rest in Peace is fine. Let's do one of these again. Oko could be bad here. Unagi could be okay. Day of Judgment could be okay. I think I'm really more afraid of the Pyroclasm starts, though. Maybe we go Rest in Peace, down to Get Lost. 2 Rest in Peace, down to Get Lost. Yeah, try it like that. Jay Sather says, I'm always looking through the rogue decks on MTG decks. There's always crazy stuff on there that have potential. Yeah, it's good to get ideas, for sure. It's good to get ideas, for sure. But at the end of the day, it's not that I think net decking is bad or wrong. For me, about half of the enjoyment of Magic is making the deck myself and see if it works, you know. And I don't want to deny myself that opportunity. I think I'm just going to Seam Rip this so I can tap out next turn. Am I winning? They play a sleight of hand and boomerang bait. Wow. Empty board. That never happens. Go for a green blade. It's a little shrimpy as far as green blades are concerned, but that's okay. We don't have blue quite yet. Let's get a blue source. A little bit of a shrimpy guy, but has big potential. Triple blue from my opponent. Storm Chaser's Talent. I can eventually Meringue River Regent my own Seam Rip in the future. Good to think about. Maybe I go for another Seam Rip here, actually. Because if I draw a Meringue River Regent, eventually it says pick up 2 Seam Rips at that point, which is kind of nice. Double blue. Opponent could be representing Get Out here. I think I'm okay with getting my Lookout Get Outed. Do I want to draw an Armadillo? Probably not. Actually, it's not that bad. Maybe I do. Go for a Lookout. This will get countered. No, actually it resolves. Go for a Seam Rip. Armadillo is bye-bye, which is actually probably okay. Grab a Mountain. Jay Sather says, that's part of the reason that I haven't been enjoying Standard that much, since it is pretty solved and you run into mostly the same decks. The power is really high, making it a lot of the cards unusable. Yeah, I agree. I kind of agree. I mean, I try to do what I can, you know, make it work. But, it's not, I did say I agree. I don't 100% agree that, like, there is a pretty wide meta, to be fair. But at the same time, I think there's a certain power level where it's like the distance between, like, what is really powerful and what is not is just it feels very high. compared to a lot of previous standards. Hit you with the Rest in Peace. I mean, I'm out here making deserts kind of work, but I wouldn't... I would be lying if I didn't admit at least kind of that, like... Is this going to work in an RC setting where people are actually, like, taking the game seriously and not the MTGA ladder, and people are playing to win and they're bringing all of the best meta decks, you know what I mean? So there's that part. But it's a very fast format right now. Solved is not... Yeah, I don't know. I think I retract. I don't know that I agree that it's solved. But there is a certain bar that you have to pass for sure. Where you can't just expect, like, your... like, you can't expect your... I'm going to win on turn 5 deck to perform well if it's uninteractive, and you need interaction, but at the same time, interaction is not that. You need it, but it's not. It's always going to kind of be worse than, like, just being super proactive with Prowess or Mono Green Landfall or what have you. It's got some problems. I think I go aggro here. Hit you with the Sandstorm Verge. Hit you with some big boys. What up, Matt Wagenheim? 6520. Appreciate you stopping by. Until Legendary Ninja Turtle. Well, you'll find no turtles here, except maybe, it kind of looks like Outcaster Greenblade killed a Ninja Turtle and is sporting its shell as armor, perhaps. Does that do anything for you? That do anything for you? Are we still on for tonight, Matt? How do you think the old timer's going to handle it? I think my opponent's dead. Did they not realize that I have the power of Sandstorm Verge on my side here? Kill you? Okay. RIP in peace. Yeah, he's gonna quit after about 20 minutes, huh? He's gonna quit after about 20 minutes, I suspect. Jay Saylor says, I guess I'm saying solved because the top 5 decks are definitely a step above the next 15. Yeah, I do agree with that. There's definitely a big power jump. That's a good called shot, Matt. That's a good called shot. All right, for all the marbles here, if we win this next game, we go 4-1 overall. Not a bad showing for Werg Deserts. Bant Deserts. Spicy Bant. Not a bad showing. I think I'm just going to run it back here. Not a bad showing. Following this up with a little Powered Cube action. Excited. First Powered Cube on stream. I'll admit, I don't think my audience necessarily cares for the Powered Cube. Hence the performance, or based on what I've gleaned from the performance of my one Powered Cube video, but sounds fun. Could be a good stream activity, perhaps, if people are a little more interested in it as a live thing. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out. Game 3, on the draw. Pretty good opener here. No green, but a couple powerful cards for this matchup. In Spell Snare and Pyroclasm. I think that's worth keeping. A little risky bisky if they're on like a crab angle, perhaps, here. Draw an untapped source. I'm not going to complain about that. No complaints here. Slickshot Show Off in the plot zone. Outcaster Greenblade off the top. Well, we're all dressed up. We need somewhere to go now. AKA, we need to draw a green source. I could just let this resolve, but I think it's better to spell snare it. Or have them like fight over this at the very least. I do have the Pyroclasm to just wipe their show off, but no real guarantees there. We draw a green source. Feeling pretty good about that. Let's hold on to the Pyroclasm here. Burst Lightning to the Dome. Burst Lightning to the Dome. What does that mean? Actually, I kind of like the Free Strider Lookout Seam Rip angle here. 2 mana available. Burst Lightning to the Dome. Maybe representing a get out. In which case, I think the Free Strider Lookout angle is better because I want the land drops off. Oh, that just resolves. Go for a Seam Rip. Does this resolve? This does resolve. Seam Rip and Otter. Okay. Weird. What do they have? Jay Sather says, Cube is above my ability. I didn't play with a fair amount of the cards. I have no idea what to draft. Does that make sense? Yes. Agreed. But I've been playing Vintage Cube since I was like in high school on MTGO. So I've been around it for a while. I kind of have a sense of strategy. I'm not going to say I'm great at it. I'm not going to pretend I'm like great at it, but I know enough of what's going on to have fun with it. But I can definitely see why it would be like daunting. Could be a good opportunity to hang out and enjoy it though. Learn some stuff, maybe. Cube feels so overwhelming for me. Only started playing 6 months ago. You only started playing 6 months ago. Awesome. Okay, well, let's. I think it could be fun for me. I'll try to do my best to explain my picks and talk about the cube in general and various strategies and maybe the history of it a little bit. That could be fun. I'll definitely try to explain my thought processes. I'll try to educate the people. Sure, I'm down with that if that sounds like something people are interested in. Definitely just going to go for an Unagi here. Although Spinewood's Armadillo just kills them next turn. Both are like similarly annoying. Spinewood's Armadillo also keeps me from dying to like a Slick Shot show off in a million spells. Matt says, yeah, it takes a while to get comfy with Cube. Learning any of the quote-unquote standard cubes like Vintage/Legacy Cube on MTGO, you eventually learn what is good, how to draft. Your first drafts will be bad. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it is daunting because, like, it's hard to do it for free. So you're investing, you're kind of taking a little bit of a risk getting into it, right? I guess I just fire up a Vine Stalk here. They can crab me. Oh, no, they can't crab me. But I can hold up a Get Lost through all this, whatever they might have. You just dead, bozo? Devin says, yeah, I'm a big comic book nerd who got converted to this religion by the Spider-Man set. Whoa! Crazy, man. There are people like you out there, huh? Bounce off on the Green Blade. Kill you. Woo! 4-1. Not bad. Jay Sather asks, how many pre-release events are you attending? Just one, I think. Unless someone out there wants to two-headed giant with me, perhaps I could maybe do two. Well, that was fun, folks. Kind of a pretty painless 4-1. Is it 3 times? Did we play against Is it 4 times? Is that right? No, 3 times. Technically, all of my opponents were red-blue decks, though, right? That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. That is kind of crazy. The deck looked pretty good. I mean, it definitely caught people off guard. Once again, Outcaster Greenblade, kind of a big hoss. I like the main deck Spell Snares. The Spell Snares looked probably like the best card that we were playing in a lot of situations. Maybe it's worth considering some spell snares in the main for Sultai Deserts. That's maybe the one big takeaway from this, I think. Main deck Pyroclasm lined up decently against a lot of our opponents. We ran into Prowess twice. Or maybe, wait. I'm so confused because did we run into Prowess twice? Just once. But the other lists, the other lessons lists were like very otter heavy. 5-color stuff. Yeah, that was the first matchup. Anyway, fun run. Fun deck. I like the spicy Bant list. I like the white spells. I kind of see it as a preparation for when Deserts gets access to Erode, the 1-mana white instant from Strixhaven that destroy target creature or planeswalker, and it's kind of like the Path to Exile effect. I feel like that could be a very strong reason to be playing white in Deserts, is just to have like the best interaction piece. Free Strider Lookout just loves cheap interaction. At the same time, giving your opponent a basic is not great, so maybe decks playing Erode won't be playing 4 of them, but just having access to that effect I think is pretty good. Okay, well, let's fire up a powered cube draft. Gonna play the best of one version of this. I do like the best of one version of the cube draft because you're less likely to just get absolutely ranched, blown out. You get to see more games, more variety. There's my gamer tag. Enjoy. It's weird that it shows the gamer tag like fully in this queue, but there you go. If you feel compelled to add me, I guess I can't stop you. Hi, IZ22. Thanks for catching the stream, brother. You're just in time to witness some of the most powerful cards in all of Magic's history, in this format that we call Cube, which is a draft format, a limited format. This UI bug has been driving me crazy lately. Okay, pack 1, pick 1. Probably not the most important pick of a draft or Cube experience, but kind of sets the tone for the rest of everything going on here. Cards that stand out to me, I mean, Demonic Tutor is super flexible, right? There are super powerful cards in this cube, so just the fact, so anything that like does card advantage things or tutor things become that much more powerful. Being able to tutor for your combo pieces or tutor for a board wipe or what have you. I also like Fractured Identity, but I don't like that it puts me into 2 colors. I think it's pretty strong. This cube, more than other like vintage cubes in previous years' history, is more creature leaning. So actually like the red-white sort of energy aggro decks are pretty good. But none of the key players are here in this opener here. I think Demonic Tutor's okay. It's maybe fallen off a little bit in recent years, but I think it's a fine pick. Pack 1, pick 1 here. Keeps us pretty open. Pretty playable in like almost every black deck. As far as pack 2 goes, I'm not super drawn in by any of the black cards here. I do like a Bayou. I do like a Tundra. Mightform Harmonizer's interesting. It is kind of cool to see Mightform Harmonizer, and there's a certain temptation to like think about, wow, I mean, this like Harmonizer plus fetch gets a lot easier when you just have Demonic Tutor in your deck, right? There's also a Crucible of Worlds, which is kind of interesting. Pretty open still. I think I'm just going to take the Bayou. It's on color with my Demonic Tutor. It's an alpha basic or an alpha dual, which is a pretty strong place to be. Gives us a lot of options in the future. I think I'm just going to go with the Bayou here. A little boring land pick. Dark Ritual with a Demonic Tutor is kind of interesting. I do like to play the Storm decks. I don't think this cube is as good. Like this is not the Storm cube. Like I said earlier, it's much more of a creature-focused cube. But I do like a little Dark Ritual Demonic Tutor action. Simplifies things quite a lot. Michelangelo with a Heart. 2 mana, trample, 2/1, raid the fridge at the beginning of your second main phase if you attacked. Put a 1 counter on target creature. Character select. That doesn't seem good. Seems fine for like an aggro list, I guess. It's turtles, Matthew. It's turtle with a hat. Turtle with a hat. I think I'm going to take the Dark Ritual. It's just fun. There's also Elvish Reclaimer, though, which is kind of interesting. Elvish Reclaimer is interesting in this archetype. If I do eventually wield the Mightform Harmonizer. I'm going to take the Dark Ritual, though. Grizzlebrand. And there's the Ice Till, though. Man, the lands deck would have been kind of crazy, actually. The lands deck had potential, but I kind of think I'm locked into the Grizzlebrand now. Maybe I can do both. Maybe there's a world in which I do both. 8 mana, 7/7 flying lifelink, pay 7. Reanimator's a strong option here. There's also just the argument of like, there are so many ways to enable Grizzlebrand, like Sneak Attack or Show and Tell. I mean, the best thing you can be doing probably is just Reanimate. Which I'm pretty well suited to do, given the cards I've taken so far. But it does feel sad to see the Ice Till stuff go by, but we'll see if it comes back to me. I'm going to go for the Grizzlebrand. Pretty high ceiling on that card. Okay, the rest is pretty off color here. There's a Glissa. I'm not that impressed by Glissa here necessarily. There's also the Torsten, which could... This is a card that pairs well with Flash or Sneak Attack. You don't necessarily have to be in green-white for this to be good. You could just be like, in this case, red-black Sneak Attack and justify the Torsten pretty okay, I think. There's also Yuffie, Materia Hunter, gain control of target artifact. Yeah, I don't think that matters. Maybe we take the Spire Bluff Canal. Think about the possibility of being in Grixis Storm eventually, maybe. Torsten's pretty likely to wheel. There's also Echo of Aeons, which is a pretty good Storm card. And maybe I just take the Echo of Aeons. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Echo of Aeons because I've already ding-dang done it. A lot of green stuff, like pretty good green landfall stuff still here. Triplicate Titan. 9 mana, 9/9 Flying Vigilance Trample. Another pretty good Flash card, if you're familiar with the card Flash. 2 mana, just puts a creature into play, but you have to then pay its mana cost or sacrifice it. But if you just don't pay its mana cost, it just enters and dies, right? And so if you just play this for 2 mana with the Flash, you just get a pretty good board out of nowhere for 2 mana. I think I'm going to go with the Bloodstained Mire here. It can fetch my Bayou, keeps me open to that Grixis idea, which is kind of the classic sort of Storm color combination. Warren Soul Trader, huh? Pay 1 life, sacrifice another creature, create a treasure token. Is Gravecrawler in this cube? It must be, right? If Soul Trader is here. Can anyone confirm or deny that for me? Gravecrawler. The 1 mana 2/1 zombie that combos with Warren Soul Trader. I'm gonna guess it has to be, and it seems like this was a pretty good start for that combo shell. Otherwise, we have like Dark Ritual into Liliana, which is kind of interesting. I'm gonna spec on the Soul Trader just because I've never done that angle before, and I'm gonna keep an eye out for the possibility of Gravecrawler comboing with this. Still not really locked into anything. Just kind of taking some powerful options here. Seeing what's open. This is our... Are we back to pack 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 7... No, next pack is... Next pack is pack 1. Nothing super crazy here. Maybe just Pillage the Bog as sort of a speculative combo piece. Back to pack 1 here. A lot of like red aggro stuff still open. A lot of green stuff still open. Maybe we take the Regrowth and think about the... Maybe eventually the Ice Till. Maybe the Ice Till Harmonizer stuff is going to wheel. I'm going to take the Regrowth. It's an okay Storm card too. Or combo card. Well, there's the Harmonizer. Huh. Seems doable. Elvish Reclaimer? Seems doable. I mean, I could be this guy. Sure. Creature gets 2/2 as long as you can blah, blah, blah. Sacrifice a land. Search your library for a land card. There's also Omnath, but I don't really have the colors to support Omnath here. Okay, no Ice Till, but I think that's okay. We can just do Mightform Harmonizer stuff. Glissa, I don't love it, but I'll take it. Earthbender Ascension, okay. Leonardo, skip on that. Pack 2, pick 1. Some powerful contenders here. There's a Mox Sapphire. We're not in blue necessarily. Moxen are very powerful and probably worth taking 99.9% of the time. But Entomb is also a very powerful reanimator card. I don't have any tools to actually reanimate my Grizzlebrand, but Entomb is kind of like the big daddy sort of tutor effect for that strategy. There's also Mox Diamond, which is generically very good. Actually fixes, but does cost a land to play. It's probably Mox Sapphire here, but I think there's a pretty good argument for Entomb as well. Let's just go with the Mox Sapphire. Jay Sather says, what school are you aiming to get at your pre-release? I think I'm going to try to go... I didn't pre-register. I'm going to take Witherbloom if it's available. If not, I'm going to take Lorehold or maybe Quandrix. But Witherbloom if it's available. Off-color Moxen. I think that's okay. Could lead to a very fast Mightform Harmonizer opener. Sneak Attack. I think we're a Sneak Attack deck now. There's also Mana Vault, which is really strong. But we have this Grizzlebrand. I think I want to enable it. I think I like the Sneak Attack option. Sneak Attack plus Mightform Harmonizer is not nothing also. Oh, it's this weekend? Sheesh, can't make it. Okay. No problemo. Yes, it is this weekend. Lightning Fast. Lightning Fast. Take the Sneak Attack. There's a Strip Mine. I don't think we're a super good Strip Mine list. Jay Sather says, I saw the draft results from early access event and I was surprised that Lorehold was tops. Yeah, I thought it could be a pretty good contender. The commons and uncommon like gold cards look pretty good. Surprised to see quite a few blue cards here. There's really not much of anything for me in this pack. Willow Rush Verge, but I'm not really... Pest Infestation, maybe? Pest Infestation. Maybe you just take the Strip Mine anyway. I mean, I have an Elvish Reclaimer. Maybe eventually I hit something kind of relevant there. Shifting Woodland is kind of interesting. I'm definitely feeling inclined to stay in Jund at this point with the Sneak Attack pickup. Taiga also enables that. Gives me pretty good fixing for my Sneak Attack. But there's also Shifting Woodland. As long as you have Delirium, you can pay 4 mana to make this land a copy of the Grizzlebrand in your graveyard, right? Which is kind of interesting. I think the ceiling on Shifting Woodland is quite high. We need some stuff like graveyard stuff to enable that, but it is pretty high. Taiga might wheel. There's a Stomping Ground as well. There's also a Wasteland. Huh. There's also a Mind Twist. Okay. Well, I think it's the Mind Twist with the Dark Ritual. Target player discards X cards at random. Keeps me in my colors. Very powerful thing to be doing with Dark Ritual. A lot of interesting stuff to wheel here, like the Wasteland. Probably won't come back around, but Sowing Myco Spawn might. Stomping Ground might. I think I'm going to take the Mind Twist here. Grief, Woodfall Primus. Woodfall Primus plays super well with Sneak Attack. Enters, and then you eventually have to sacrifice it, but because Woodfall Primus has Persist, it'll come back and stick around. There's also Grief, which tends to be pretty good. generically in these sort of black leaning like combo decks. You could also just Dark Ritual into a turn 2 Grief on the field. It's not bad. Or turn 1 with the Mox Sapphire. I think I'm going to take the Grief. Did a little fake out on you guys there. Bebop and Rocksteady. What are you doing here, dude? Probably not picking you. Leaning toward the Carnage Interpreter. I've kind of been impressed by this card. 3 mana, 3/3, discard your hand, but you get 4 clues, and it's kind of a big dumb threat. And if you like top deck this, it's kind of insane. What up, Moonella 1? This is draft, brother. We're playing a little powered cube. Vaultborn Tyrant from my sneak attack seems pretty good. There's also Fire Covenant, which helps manage the creature decks pretty nicely, of which there are quite a lot. Carnage Interpreter also opens me up to do like Reanimator shenanigans. I think I'm going to go for the Vaultborn Tyrant. Oh, the Entomb wheeled all the way around? That's crazy. That's the Tropical Island wheeled all the way around. What are people taking? Is it just people fighting over like the red-white aggro deck because everyone on Reddit's like glazing that deck so hard? What is going on? I'm gonna take the Tropical Island. I don't think I'm gonna end up playing it, but I want to keep my options open. Emrakul is a good pick there too, I think, Munello, but I think with everything else I have going on, Vaultborn Tyrant is gonna play okay. Maybe it wasn't easy Emrakul. I don't know. I don't actually have any real ways to whoa! Network issues. I don't actually have any real ways to like fill up my graveyard quite yet, other than the Carnage Interpreter maybe. Waiting for server. I don't love this. Restarting my game. Mind twist yourself? Sure. That's an angle. Okay, we're back. We are back. Hello, Tarmogoyf, my friend. Bebop and Rocksteady. Whoa. What is going on? MTGA. Thank you, Pippin. Appreciate you. All right, pack 3. Oh, there's big Emrakul. There's also a Flash. Flash plays nicely with the Vaultborn Tyrant. Would have rewarded our Persist pick, or not Persist. What's his name? I think maybe it's a Once Upon a Time or Vampiric Tutor. Vampiric Tutor pretty good. There's also just big Emrakul with sneak attack, which is interesting. I think I'm going to take the Vampiric Tutor here, though. Ancient Tomb, Grim Monolith, big mana picks here. For our colors, I think I like the Ancient Tomb. Plays super nicely with our Mind Twist. Plays pretty nicely with sneak attack here. I don't think we need as much mana as like a Grim Monolith provides. Pretty good Ancient Tomb for us there, I think. Leonardo Sewer Samurai, shout out. Shout out. Pentad Prism is kind of interesting. It makes our sneak attack a little better. We can go like turn 2, load up some mana on the Pentad Prism. Turn 3, sneak attack and have enough mana to activate it right away. Plus, we don't actually have, like, great red fixing otherwise. Lockmare, I don't know about that. There's also Golos. Golos is kind of interesting with the Ancient Tomb. Slash, I think I'm going to go with the Pentad Prism. It's not like a perfect pick here, but our mana's not that good otherwise. Jay Sather says, kind of feel like the Turt's cards are out of place. Agreed. They always do this in these arena cubes, though. They just throw in random stuff from the new set. It never really sticks. Sholdred with the Dark Ritual, pretty good. Burrogoyf, kind of interesting. Decent. Titania with the Strip Mine, kind of interesting. It's kind of a tough pick here. Maybe it's just Shieldred. I'm gonna go with the Burrogoyf though. It fascinates me. I think it's the Blazemire Verge. Makes my fixing quite a lot better. Yeah. I think Shieldred probably was the strongest there, Munello, but I'm fascinated by the Burrogoyf. I don't think I've ever played with this card. And I do have a Dark Ritual, which makes it somewhat interesting. The potential of actually just swinging with this on turn 2. I think it's Stoke the Flames. I don't think there's actually anything for me here. We're pretty firmly in, like, Golgari plus slightly a red splash. I could maybe justify a small blue splash if, like, Ancestral Recall came around. Did I see that? Wait, Jay Sather says, did you see the Cosmoglyph list that won a challenge in Modern? Is that the one you're talking about? Because I did see that one. I think it's Malevolent Rumble here. I think it goes kind of crazy. Although Primetime is crazy with Sneak Attack too. Maybe I just need more creatures. I think it's Malevolent Rumble though. It helps enable my Shifting Woodland, namely, is what I'm thinking. I don't actually have good ways to reanimate, but I like the card selection. Good setup play here. Exploration is interesting. Sharpshooter. Could just take the cut down. Cut down might be relevant. Restless Cottage. Once Upon a Time. Do I have enough creatures for Once Upon a Time? Sure, I think so. Helps with Delirium. Could just find a land. I'm a sneak attack deck, so I just want to be finding those creatures, basically, right? Nissa. Do I have any elementals? I have Grief. Nissa's not bad. Gives me fixing for my sneak attack. I only have the one fetch, unfortunately. Mutagen Man, not really doing that. Soul Guide Lantern. I don't think the rest of this matters that much. Explore. Endurance could be a card. Tranquil Landscape, probably not. Saz's Chocobo, pretty cute. The rest of this can go bye-bye. Boomy Unleashed. Enters Earthbend 4, deals combat damage to a player, untap all lands you control. Huh. Boomy Unleashed with Sneak Attack. So, Sneak Attack in Boomy, deals combat damage to a player, untap all lands you control, additional combat phase. So you untap all of your lands, and then you can put in a second creature off of Sneak Attack. That's actually kind of interesting. It might have to make it if our creature count is relatively low. Alright, what are we doing here? Cut the blue. That's step 1. Don't know what these islands are doing in here. Boomy decided to go to the main deck. It's a sign. It might be a sign. It's kind of calling me. I think we ended up with an okay list. It's a really really dependent on our what our opening hands look like. I think It has the potential to just kind of blow out our opponents, but we didn't find too much additional consistency for the Entomb to matter. So I don't think the Entomb is going to end up mattering at all here. We don't really have anything particularly good to do with it. It'd be nice if we had picked up a Reanimate or two to go along with that. IZ22 asks, how long will you have this deck for? I now play it in a series of games. If I lose... until I either win 7 matches or lose 3, whatever comes first. That's kind of how it goes. So ideally I win 7 matches or have like a 7-2 record or whatnot, but I could just lose 3 in a row, and then that would be the end of it. That would be the end of it. Actually, maybe I play Bebop and Rocksteady. Is that crazy? Could be better than Glissa. Just as a cheap Dark Ritual effect, and I can attack and discard stuff and then set up my Delirium / Carnage Interpreters that much faster. Kind of a weird idea. I'm a little all over the place here. I'm going to skip on the Pillage the Bog. Bats might end up making the cut. Nissa could make the cut, actually, as sort of an alternate top end. I don't hate this. I just wish I ended up with a Reanimate is all. I'm kind of begrudging that. Let's skip on the Michelangelo. Do we play the Bebop? We could play Tireless Tracker. Bebop? You know what? Fuck it. We ball. It's a 3-mana 7/5. Maybe that's good in this kind of format, question mark. Sacrifice a permanent, discard a card. It kind of makes me laugh, at the very least. And it's good in the context of, like, if I run into the red-white aggro decks, it actually could be kind of relevant. But there's also just Endurance, which maybe has a little more potential. Huh. Does Regrowth do anything for me here? Probably not. Bebop and Rocksteady could enable the Delirium for Shifting Woodland. It also sets up the Barrowgoyf a little better. Without a consistent way to get Trample, yeah, that's true. Just gets blocked infinitely. It's so weird that it doesn't have Trample. Maybe it would be too good at that point. Maybe we just play the Tracker because it's pretty easy on the mana. And then maybe you could justify Asaz's Chocobo, or just stick it at 23 cards, 17 sources. Turn 2 Tracker with the Ancient Tomb is actually pretty real. All of my 3-drops play pretty nicely with the Ancient Tomb if I do that, other than the Carnage Interpreter. That's maybe a pretty good reason to be doing this over the Bebop and Rocksteady. Okay, I think I'm going to run it like this. Any last minute thoughts? I kind of think this isn't that crazy. It seems okay. We could just get run over, but we have some decent enablers. Maybe the Elvish Reclaimer doesn't make that much sense here. It finds Strip Mines. It helps enable the Mightform Harmonizer, but does it matter? It's like an early blocker, I guess. It also finds Shifting Woodland, which is kind of part of our plan. Devin Fuller says, I have no idea what's happening really, but good luck. Thanks, gang. Thank you all. Do we want the Elvish Reclaimer? It could be good. It could be good. It also finds Ancient Tomb, which is actually real ramp. Okay, maybe that's a reason to be on it. It finds Ancient Tomb. So you go like turn 1 Elvish Reclaimer, turn 2 activate it, find Ancient Tomb, and then you're untapping with 4 mana. It's kind of ramp. Yeah. Okay. Same wavelength. I think I like it. As far as sources go, probably doesn't super matter. Maybe cut down on a forest. We're not actually casting our top end, really. All right, let's try it like that. I'm not super impressed with this, but it could win some games. I'm excited to get into it. Not my best draft ever. I think it would have looked better in retrospect had I hard committed to the like Ice Till stuff from the get-go, because we did end up seeing Wasteland, Strip Mine, why can't I think of the 3-mana artifact? We saw that as well. We saw like all of the landfall stuff actually, which is kind of interesting. We just the Siren Song of Grizzlebrand pulled me in. Fortunately for me, though, in this in limited, I'm only a plat gamer, so that could be a good sign. I mean, this seems like a pretty solid opener. That could be a good sign for us. Seems like a solid opener. Got a little demonic tutor here. Could be anything. Could even be a land if we need it to be. Endurance might be better than Nissa. Aren't really that many forests in the deck. That's true. Yeah, maybe just having like a reliable blocker is better. We do have a little bit of a ramp angle, which is why I have the Nissa. With the Pentad Prisms and the Ancient Tombs. Not super unlikely that we get to stick it on turn 3 or 4. Okay, while my opponent's AFK, I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. What's the longest you think anyone's ever peed? Like one continuous stream? Could it be possible that it's like over 2 minutes? Or is even 1 minute, does that seem like an impossibility? I want to hear y'all's takes on this hypothetical. Matt says, I swear to God, I peed for like a whole minute the other day. Discards a Cosmic Ray Zenith. Could just rip the Grief here. I think I'm just going to pass. I don't think I have anything super good to grab off of Once Upon a Time yet. Kellen. Okay. Well, I'll just go ahead and cut that down. So let's rip the Once Upon a Time. I think I'm looking at the Bayou here. Gives me double green. Although, Carnage Interpreter could be the angle. Carnage Interpreter is actually like a real card at least. Let's cut down the Kellen. Curious to know what my opponent's up to ripping this turn 1 Faithless Looting. Could just strip mine them here is kind of funny. If I go like evoke the grief, giving up the demonic tutor, and then oh, I could demonic tutor for a dark ritual to set up my next turn. I think I'm just gonna strip mine them because it's kind of funny. Maybe I should grief first. If I'm gonna do this, I should grief first for more information. See if this is actually a good line. It's not. Confirmed it's not a good line. Okay. Then I will hold. Confirmed bad. Pippin says over a minute is possible. With conviction. Devin Fuller says when it's 3 a.m. and you wake up to pee, it feels like 5 minutes. Yeah, but actual practical. Munello says there's probably a mathematical solution for that. Depot, longest pee ever had was in military, was drinking a bunch of water for a random drug test, then got caught in a 3-hour formation. Okay. Unsure about longest piss, but I do remember seeing a vid of the dude that was pissing like a fire hose. Hilarious and disgusting at the same time. Matt says, can we just turn this into a piss channel? All right. I shouldn't have brought it up. That's on me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, gang. I'm sorry, gang. That's on me. This is not going to turn into a piss channel. I promise you that. Saddest grief sequence in the history of gaming? A little bit. Vampiric Tutor. I'm trying to think, is there like a good setup card? I'm kind of winning if I just hang out and hit my land drops, right? Is there a good card to hit right now? With the Carnage Interpreter situation. I guess I just put Sneak Attack on top, right? And then I play the Carnage Interpreter the next turn. Tap out for a Sneak Attack. They discarded a Get Lost. I don't know what my opponent's up to, but all I'm seeing is them throwing away their like gas into the graveyard. So it's making me feel pretty okay. Please don't change my channel name to The Piss MTG. I don't think I could survive that. There's also Might Form Harmonizer in this list. Little Might Form action. Mind Twist. No, I think I like the Sneak Attack idea. Pretty likely to be able to pay it off with the extra cards from Carnage Interpreter here. Plus, my opponent's not really pressuring me. Problem with this list is I don't have a whole lot of red to be able to activate my Sneak Attack, but like twice consistently. But I only really need to hit them with Grizzlebrand once. Barrowgoyf. Sneak Attack the Barrowgoyf. Maybe I just play the Barrowgoyf and then Sneak Attack the Carnage Interpreter. That's probably better. Could have had turn 2 Emrakul Sneak Attack. Sorry, brother. Didn't turn out that way. Among them in your hand. Did not turn out that way. I think I want to hold on to the... No, I want to Sneak Attack the Barrowgoyf because I want to draw into... or mill into a creature to Sneak Attack again next turn. So let's play the Swamp. Let's Sneak Attack the Barrowgoyf. Let's play the Interpreter. I guess we'll leave up the Strip Mine mana. It doesn't really matter. Hit you with the Barrowgoyf. Gain a little life here. That's not bad. Try to mill into more fodder. Mill into a Might Form Harmonizer. Okay. Hey, it's not nothing. And maybe I actually do just Strip Mine them here, actually. Because they only have 3 lands now? Somehow they've done this to themselves, where they just, like, discarded their extra lands? Is that what happened? Put you to 2? I don't know. Seems fine. They draw into a Savai Triome. Hits me for 3. Does any of this matter? So now I have a Hasty Harmonizer. Oh, there's a Grizzlebrand. I think what I'm gonna do. Okay, here's what we do. We sneak attack the Grizzlebrand. We warp the we draw some cards. We warp the Harmonizer. Hopefully we don't get got by Containment Priest here. Galvanic Discharge. Yeah, we don't care about that at all. We don't care about that at all. RIP in peace, my boy. Grizzlebrand on the field. Activate Grizzlebrand. Draw 7. Mox Sapphire. Sure. We play the Nissa. There's got to be a way to find lethal here, right? By putting in an extra Harmonizer? No, I don't think so. We warp the Harmonizer. Play a Blazemire Verge. Double the Grizzlebrand's power. And now I warp in the Nissa and I can hit them to 1. Maybe I could have like filtered mana into red to warp in the sneak attack the Harmonizer and the Nissa. There was probably a line there. Yeah, I think I missed that. Is it too late to do that? No, it's not too late to do that. Pentad Prism. Red. Sneak attack. Sneak attack. Elvish Reclaimer is a 3/4, I guess. Okay, we found it. We found it. Not even a little problem. And that's sneak attack. Devin, there's your lesson for the day. That's sneak attack. Sometimes you just kill your opponent. There's your lesson for the day. Not bad. A nice little 1-0 start. We got a lot of help from my opponent that game. Just kind of dirtling around. They just kind of dirtled. What up, Fuzzy Cow? Appreciate you stopping by. Ancient Tomb, Mountain. I mean, this hand's really close, but you can't keep it without being able to cast your cards. This is fine. Sneak attack Grizzlebrand. Pretty good reason to keep. Just root beer today for me. Just a little root beer in a scotch glass. kind of looks like scotch. I'm definitely keeping this. I think I get rid of the Barrowgoyf, right? Because Nissa has the potential of enabling sneak attack Grizzlebrand on turn 4. Elvish Reclaimer. Pass it back. Matt says, Cube is the best format. Throw together all your random one-of cards and have fun drafting with friends. It's the having friends part is the hard part, though. You know? Jay Sather says, ice cold root beer in a glass without ice is the best way to drink root beer, IMO. There was ice in here before. It's all melted by now. I started the stream with this, so it's been 2 hours. Earthbender Ascension. Okay, pretty good rampy start for my opponent, but can they compete with Sneak Attack Grizzlebrand? Is the question. Mox Sapphire. Mox Sapphire. I think what I do is I just play a Nissa and hold the mountain. This way I can sneak attack all in one turn. I don't think I just want to run out the sneak attack because that opens up the possibility of my opponent dealing with it at sorcery speed. And I want to at least put Grizzlebrand into play once. Any F&M gamers out in the chat? Munello1's asking. Munello1 wants to know. Any F&M gamers out in the chat? Anyone going to F&M tonight? I mean, it's pre-release night, no? That's probably everyone going to pre-release. Go for a sneak attack. Put in the Grizzlebrand. Ooh, baby! Baby, there's a storm brewing. Hit ya. I guess I could hit you with Nissa, too. No, Nissa pays off my future draws here. Go for a little draw action. Do we need more cards? We drew into a Vaultborn Tyrant. I don't know. I don't think we really do. Yeah, I don't think there's much of a reason to risk this. We can let it go. Discard a Swamp. Pretty good hits here. Guaranteed we can, like, plop 3 big dudes in. He reanimates my Grizzlebrand. Ah! That's fine. Reanimates my Grizzlebrand. But I get to generate a bunch of red mana off of Nissa here. Which means I can... Ooh, I prematurely put this in. I probably should have snuck attacked the Mightform Harmonizer in first. Wait, no, I should put the Vaultborn Tyrant in first. Yeah, the sequencing on this is a little off, but it's going to be okay. Harmonizer, sorry, Vaultborn Tyrant. Vaultborn Tyrant. I think I'm just going to warp the Harmonizer, no? Warp the Harmonizer. Yeah, my sequencing was pretty bad here. I will admit. One last fetchable in the deck. Double the Vaultborn Tyrant. Grief. And then we activate the Elvish Reclaimer, right? Sacrifice the Swamp. Find a Blazemire Verge. Doesn't super matter, probably. Red source. Then we activate the sneak attack here. Grief my opponent. Has a persistent hand. Good info. Hit you with the Tyrant. I guess hit you with the Grief. Doesn't really matter. I mean, they're just dead to the Tyrant here. And they scoop it up. Okay. That was interesting. We found it. It's Vintage Cube. Well, Powered Cube or whatever. It's Powered Cube. We found it. Sneak Attack Harmonizer. Turns out you just got a big trampling dinosaur. You can find the lethal, even if you make mistakes. Even if you make mistakes, keep your head up. Matt says, you got to come out to Sunday Discord Cube, Eric. Come on. Is it fun? Is it good? I don't know. Maybe. Invite me next time, I guess. Jay Sailor says, I'm not making jokes, Eric. When I worked at the diner, it's just the best way to drink root beer. Ice cold from the tap without ice. So refreshing. I'm technically F&Ming, but pre-release style this week. That's right. That's right. Pre-release style for everyone. Go enjoy. Enjoy your wizards. Enjoy your school children. Opponent on the play. That came out wrong, by the way. I meant enjoy your magical, like, school wizards or whatever. Anyway, moving on. I think I'm going to keep this. It's just a question of what do I want a Vampiric Tutor for here. Urza's Bauble. Expedition Map. Some kind of artifact-y start for my opponent. Draw into a Malevolent Rumble. Could just be a Demonic Tutor angle. Or sorry, a Dark Ritual angle. To Mind Twist for 4. Hashtag clipped. Alright. Alright, you got me. You got me. You got me. Urza's Bauble. It came out wrong, alright? It came out wrong. It came out wrong. I'll admit, I'm sorry. I think I'm just going to go for the Dark Ritual Mind Twist here. Get him with the old Dark Ritual Mind Twist. Grab his dick and twist it, dude. Alright. We're playing this game now. We are playing this game. Devin Fuller says, hope you all pull some nice goodies. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice, Devin. Thank you. You too. Cracks the expedition map. I said what I said, Munello. Let's go for the Malevolent Rumble here. I might just cut down the hero. Slow them down quite a bit. Bloodstained Mire grabs my Bayou, which lets me cast my Harmonizer. I could also just hard cast the Grief. But Sneak Attack is Sneak Attack, but I don't have red mana for Sneak Attack quite yet. There's also Strip Mine for the Tolarian Academy. Could be real eventually, but not particularly real right now. I think I'm going to go for the Bloodstained Mire. Just gonna cut this down. Keep this from being a problem. Pass it back. I guess I could have hardcast Grief either way. Next turn, by giving up the spawn here. They give up a mana by cracking the Urza's Bauble. Mana in exchange for cards. Legion Extruder. Deals with my spawn. Joke's on you. 1 colorless mana in my mana pool. Drawn to an Elvish Reclaimer. That's actually kind of great in this kind of situation, right? Because it's almost big enough. 1 activation and it's a 3/4, and then I get quite a lot of advantage off of it. They have a Legion Extruder that they can start sacrificing their stuff to. I think I'm going to go for the Grief here. See what your last card is. Could just be a land. It's a land. Okay. Got to assume they're giving up the Planisphere for golems. There's golems. I'm going to go ahead and block. They know about my Mightform Harmonizer. Let's block. Nissa. Could just go Nissa plus Elvish Reclaimer here. I think I like that. 1 card in hand. Presumably a land. Give them perfect information in doing this, but I think that's okay. Better setup pieces. Legend of Karuk. Now, land off the top means... Actually, I think this might be the only elemental in my deck, but I wonder if I have another elf. I guess this is my other elf. So maybe Nissa can't draw me any cards. Island. Boomy Unleashed! It's Boomy Unleashed. Legend of Karuk. Maybe I just play the Mightform Harmonizer here. No bossing saves in the deck. Maybe I just play the Mightform Harmonizer. What are they even going to do about it, dude? Then if I hit a land, I can go land and activate the Reclaimer for 2 land drops to kill my opponent. I've never cast this card in my life. Is it good? I have no idea. I genuinely don't know. It seems okay. Earthbend 4 is kind of a lot for 5 mana. The stats are good. Maybe this is a Jund Deserts card, if you think about it. Because don't you win a lot of Jund Deserts games with Restless Cottage? And being able to untap all of your lands and then you like fire up a Restless Cottage in the second combat phase and just kill your opponent. You would need 6 mana for that to work, basically, but it's interesting. Coveted Jewel for my opponent. Draws 3 cards. Has access to 5 mana currently. Boomy has to connect to untapped lands? Oh, okay. Well, still. You probably win the game if you untap with this, right? Singleton Deserts with every green red legendary someday. I love the idea of playing Singleton Desert, like 5-color Singleton Deserts. Play set of Green Strider or Free Strider Lookout, play set of Outcast or Green Blade, but the rest Singleton. It sounds really fun. Ras Jite. Couple dinguses on the field. Draw a mountain. We draw a mountain. Huh. Opponent's about to flip the Legend of Karuk. I mean, I guess I just hit them with creatures, right? Steal their Coveted Jewel. Seems pretty straightforward. Play the mountain. Double the Mightform Harmonizers PT. Add red. Play Boomy Unleashed. Earthbend. Hit you. We can leave back the Reclaimer. Take the Coveted Jewel here. They have to chump. Draw 3. And then, oh, at instant speed, I can activate my Reclaimer here to double the Bayou. That's kind of interesting. Actually, I can activate the Reclaimer, sacrifice the Bayou, Earthbend comes back, double on Nissa, puts them to 2. Not quite lethal. I guess I just bat second main, right? Opponent has garbage. Alright, we were kind of close there. Very nice Boomy, though. Good addition here. Pretty big board. Opponent drawing kind of like garbage. Opponent drawing a little bit of garbage. Dak Faden. They can gain control of the Coveted Jewel, but I don't think that matters. Oh, Boomy does have Trample. That's a good point. A good Harmonizer target. Take the Coveted Jewel. I dare you. Pry it from my cold, dead hands. And they scoop it up. See, we don't need Sneak Attack to win. We have Mightform Harmonizer. It's going well. I'm kind of surprised to admit. I'll admit it's playing pretty okay. My opponents seem to have put together slightly worse decks than I have so far. On to match number 4 here. Pretty cool runnings. Ooh, someone's a mythic player. Someone's a mythic gamer. This looks okay. Not great, not bad. Cut down. Sure. Just go ahead and shock in the Overgrown Tomb here in the face of Bloodstained Mire. Boomy Doubters and Shambles. That's fucking right, dude. Boomy looked kind of good there. The Steel Cutter. Grief. Kind of feeling like a Grief angle. I like spending my resources here. Eventually stick a Carnage Interpreter. Just take a Thoughtseize, I guess. Thoughtseize kind of fucks me. I don't know that I care about the removal that much. What up, Turd Gobbler? Appreciate you stopping by, brother. They're not going to be able to double spell unless they draw a land. No worries, dude. You're here just in time. Exactly when you're meant to be. Opponent draws a land. Oh, they found a double spell, but it's a Mana Vault, which looks really bad with their current hand. It looks really bad. Deep Cavern Bat. Play a Nissa, play a land, play the Carnage Interpreter, profit. I mean, I gotta rumble first though, right? We have a really good setup for the Shifting Woodland though. Boomy. I can make. Wait. Hold on. Wait. wait. When Boomy deals combat damage to a player, untap all lands you control. What if my Shifting Woodland is Boomy? What if my Shifting Woodland is Boomy? It's just infinite attacks. I just have to get Delirium. Instant, creature, land, sacrifice the Pentad Prism? No, it doesn't. Oh, it's just infinite attacks. That's so cool. How do I get Delirium? Wait, I have Delirium. Sorcery. Yo. Okay, hold on. Pass. Wait. Wait. I didn't even think this was. I didn't even consider this. My opponent doesn't realize it. Oh no, they have a Fatal Push, I guess. Wait, no, but it becomes a copy. Is it still a land? Does it stop being a land? Is that why it doesn't work? I just realized. Because it becomes a copy of target permanent, but it doesn't stop being a land, or it stops being a land, right? Damn, oh, that would have been so cool. That would have been so cool. It's still not that bad, but it's not that good either. The roller coaster of emotions. Barrowgoyf. Barrowgoyf is pretty good, actually. Blocks their shit pretty nicely here. Rip it. Pretty big nasty board. Man, that would have been awesome. That it should stay a land, right? That'd be the coolest combo of all time. Infinite attacks with your little 5/4 trample. Blood Artist. Got a pretty decent board here. Got a lot of clues to sacrifice. Opponent can't really swing into me super well. Burst Lightning to the dome. I don't think anything's left the field quite yet, so they can't Fatal Push me. But if I block a monk, then they get to Fatal Push. I mean, if I'm kind of in the driver's seat right now, right? With the 4 clues on the field. Oh, they just fully pass. They don't even attempt to attack. They probably should have attacked. Ancient Tomb. Man, are we sure this doesn't work? Probably not, right? Play an Ancient Tomb. Crack a clue. Oh, they can Fatal Push now. Oh no. Wait. No. Well, that was dumb. Now talk about tragic. Now they can Fatal Push. Oh, they don't though. Oh, I'm immediately rewarded. They just passed through everything. Okay, we're still in this. We're still in this. The roller coaster. Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory and then back again. Dismembers the Barrogoyf. And then I'm dead. Okay, well, fair enough. They drew a dismember. I think I would have died anyway. Fair enough. Man, but I would have won if that interaction worked. That would have been so sick. Kind of a nothing burger of a game, IMO. They played a steel cutter and made monks, and then I died. Fair enough. Had pretty good removal for me. Maybe I should have played my bat rather than discarding it. Isn't Revolt you control? I don't think so. Isn't it just a permanent leaving the battlefield? This is not bad. Let's go. What am I grabbing here? Surely there's something very, very good. Maybe it's just Nissa. Earthbender Ascension is kind of interesting. I actually think I like the Earthbender Ascension here. Turn to Earthbender Ascension, grab a red source, and then I can set up a pretty good sneak attack here. I didn't think about it too deeply, but it seems okay. Pretty nice curve out. Depot says, the Steel Cutter era was such a dark time. It was, it definitely was a time. Play the sneak attack. Pass. Yeah, I think I'm just tutoring for the Grizzlebrand here, Munello. Jay Sather asks, how much testing did they actually do with Steel Cutter? I don't know. It is kind of a nuts card in retrospect, but at first glance, I think it's easy to look at it and say, oh, that doesn't sound so bad, until you realize, like, wait, it's impossible to, like, trade evenly, like, at all with this 2-mana card. If my opponent plays it right. One mana available for my opponent here. Curious to know if they have a way to interact with this tutor. I wonder if it's better to grab Vaultborn Tyrant here. Grizzlebrand is nice, but Vaultborn Tyrant pays off pretty immediately and sticks around. Gains me some life back. They're pretty similar. I guess Grizzlebrand is more likely to result in me just winning on the spot. But I don't have another I don't have another red source to activate with. Bayou. Swing on in. If Cutter made non-prowess tokens, it would have been fine. Yeah, I agree with that statement. It would have been it would have been good. It would have been like pretty good in aggro decks if it just gave 1/1 in haste, made non-prowess tokens. It would have been pretty good, but it wouldn't have been busted. Prowess is just so busted in general. Orboroid, we can beat that. We can beat that. Grizzlebrand one time, or once upon a time, if you will. Hit you with the once upon a time. Hey, it's Grizzlebrand. Check it out. Check it, y'all. Dark Ritual. I could just cast this bad boy? That's crazy. Rev up the sneak attack. Grizzlebrand enters, triggering my Vaultborn Tyrant, getting a little life, which means extra cards. Let's try to hit another red source here. They go for a fresh start. I think I can activate this twice and get away with it. Do I have any ways to counter the fresh start or pick up my Grizzlebrand? They're tapped out. I'm just going to go all in. I haven't played my land drop yet. I could hit a Mightform Harmonizer and just kill them with a Vaultborn Tyrant. Two cards left. There's Mightform. Warp this in. Trigger for a draw. Okay, well that's a little scary, but I think we're okay. I can cut down my forest for another land drop here. We found it. We found it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Okay. All right. The Mightform Harmonizer, it's surprisingly powerful with the Grizzlebrand, turns out. I mean, there are a lot of, like, all cards are pretty good with Grizzlebrand, obviously, right? But the fact that it just, like, enables us to hit our combo so consistently. The haste with the sneak attack, it all works out pretty nicely. All right, I feel pretty good about that win. Feel like we fought for it a little bit. Threw a fresh start on the Grizzlebrand. Almost decked myself. Would have been pretty unfortunate if the Harmonizer was the last card in the pool there. Yeah, I drew 21 cards. Munella won. I activated Grizzlebrand 3 times. Pretty good. I think this is pretty decent. Turn 3 Boomy off the Pentad Prism is kind of the reason to keep this. Otherwise, it's pretty bad. Oh, Mock Sapphire. Turn 2 Boomy. Turn 2 Nissa. No, sorry. Yes, right? Wait. Turn 2 Nissa is insane, right? One activation did not get negated. They hit it with a fresh start. They can't keep me off of a busted... Can't keep me off of a busted turn 2 play here. What up, Rodrigo? We are playing MTGA Powered Cube currently. Doing some kind of Grizzlebrand sneak attack shenanigans. I think I go for the Boomy here, right? Just makes sense to me. Jam. It's a little all in, but at the same time... Pretty strong opener board here. Wasteland for my opponent. Mind Twist. Alright. I think I'm just going to start hitting my opponent here. I'm going to untap and then Mind Twist, I think. No non-basics on my end. Yeah, it's just a casual turn 3 9/8. No worries. Untap my guy. Maybe I hit them here. Put them to 8 and threaten to kill them. I could also Mind Twist for 3, which is also like kind of like killing them in a way. Rodrigo asks, I'm still kind of new to Magic. What's a Powered Cube? Basically, yeah, as Depot put it, mixed draft of strong cards from different sets. Magic has a huge card pool across all its history, right? What if we took all of the most powerful cards and sat down at a table and tried to draft with those, right? That's kind of what Cube is. And specifically Powered Cube, including the most powerful cards of all time, basically. You got your Black Lotus, you got your Ancestral Recalls, you got your Time Twisters. And you got your Grizzlebrands and your sneak attacks, which is what's going on here. Expect games to end very fast. Expect very strong interaction. Expect games to feel kind of unfair, but that's sort of the point. Like your lands getting blown up endlessly by turn 3. It's just kind of the idea of the format. It requires a bit of card pool knowledge, but once you start playing and understanding each individual card and picking up the patterns of like, this card is meant to go with this other card specifically, as far as these cubes go, it's a lot less like good stuff decks, and it's a lot more, you need to understand that Flash is intended to be played with Vaultborn Tyrant, / Woodland Primus / that big green-white 7-mana legendary whose name I've never bothered learning. This looks okay. It's a little... I like that we have the Vampiric Tutor, I guess. We can tutor up our sneak attack here. Mac the Knife. Well, I'll just cut down the Inti, I guess. Feel pretty good about that. Nissa, who shakes the world. Turn 3 Nissa. I'm not going to complain about turn 3 Nissa. It's basically pure mayhem. It's a little controlled mayhem, though. It's less about, like... You need to... The game, the draft element is, like, really about finding powerful synergies and then trying to break the game once you have the deck constructed. Like, turn 3, 5-mana Planeswalkers, which is not breaking the game, but in conjunction with things like Vaultborn Tyrant and what have you, it is quite good. Do I even actually go for this here, or do I just, like... I think I just pass one more turn and go for Vampiric Tutor for sneak attack, and then sneak attack out Tyrant plus Grizzlebrand next turn. Because Nissa looks good here, but I'm actually just trying to kill my opponent, right? Bone Crusher Giant. See, my opponent's doing some very fair stuff. Meanwhile, I am trying to do some very unfair stuff. So I'm going to grab Sneak Attack, which is this 4-mana enchantment that says you can pay 1 red, put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. That creature gains haste. The rest doesn't matter, basically. So we're going to put out a Sneak Attack. We're going to use our Pentad Prism to put double red into our mana pool here. Activate Sneak Attack the first time to drop a free Vaultborn Tyrant. Sorry, a 1-mana Vaultborn Tyrant with haste. And then activate the Sneak Attack a second time to put a Grizzlebrand into play. Triggering my Vaultborn Tyrant. They both have haste. I get to swing with them both. It's busted. I'm going to draw 1,000,000 cards. I'm going to untap with like more life than I started with in all of this. And basically be crazy far ahead here. I'm going to sacrifice both of these creatures, but it doesn't really matter because Vaultborn Tyrant's going to come back and re-trigger again. So we get to untap with all of this, including a sneak attack here. Seems pretty good. Opponent goes for an Aang's Iceberg. This does not matter. Once again, the fair stuff, it does not matter because I can just activate sneak attack again and kill my opponent with Boomy or Mightform Harmonizer or what have you. Mightform Harmonizer. Double its power to an 8-power guy. Sneak attack in Boomy. Earthbend 4. Now they literally can't beat that. And that's this format. The idea is you're just trying to like break the pace of the game with Magic's most busted cards. Over just like that. If you're just tapping out and playing like 3 mana 4/3s, you're just going to be losing this format basically. You're just going to be losing. Well, folks, it's been a fun run. This could be the final match for a nice little 7-1 run. Kind of surprising after I was feeling like the draft ended okay. I liked that we have all It ended okay. I didn't feel like we had enough angles to like support the sneak attack like, because we're just relying on sneak attack with our good top end. But the thing that makes it really good is we have Demonic Tutor and Vampiric Tutor. And just having that consistency with Demonic Tutor and Vampiric Tutor to set it all up has been actually kind of insane. Great opener here. Demonic Tutor to find a sneak attack. There's Cut Down Munello. It's back again. We're back, baby. Not in the opener, but the sneaky sixth man on the bench. Generous Plunderer. You may come to regret this. You may come to regret this. Gonna go for a little sneak attack action in hand here. Because if they give me a treasure, I just get to sneak attack out Emrakul next turn. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want to do? You positive, brother? I don't know. I don't know. I just hit you with a Demonic Tutor. You might want to reconsider. 2/2 Menace not looking so bad in the face of little sneak attack action coming at you maybe next turn. What say you? Really in the tank on this one. Really in the tank. Generous Plunderer. Playing a dangerous game in Vintage Cube. Playing a dangerous game. Opponent's a bit of a paid actor. They give me a treasure. Okay. Hit him with the good game. Just kidding. Just playing. Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. Well, opponent just tapped out. Dealt 4 to me. So, time to show them what this format's all about. Go for a Dark Ritual. Go for a Sneak Attack. We actually get to activate Sneak Attack twice, which is crazy. Put a Grizzlebrand into play. We get to use Grizzlebrand's ability to pay 7 life, draw 7. Pentad Prism with a Mox Sapphire means we get to activate the Sneak Attack 2 more times here. Let's put in the Grief. See what my opponent has going on here. A Flage. RIP in peace. Okay, good to know. I think we just hit them here and then rip this Vampiric Tutor, find our Vaultborn Tyrant, and then kill them with that. Back to me. Give me a treasure, please. They give me a treasure. They do get to hit me for 3 with the Generous Plunderer. It's just not going to be enough after gaining the life off the Grizzlebrand there. Go for a Vampiric Tutor. What are they just dead to? I mean, they're just dead to all of this, basically, right? Grab the Vaultborn Tyrant. Put a Vaultborn Tyrant into play. And then I put a Carnage Interpreter into play. Bloodstained Mire. Could put a Bat into play. Doesn't really matter. Discard my hand. Doesn't really matter. Kill you. Alright. It's just good, clean, fair magic. It's just good, clean, fair magic. That's just all it is, Jay Say there. That's right. We're just playing good, clean, fair magic out here. Well, folks, it was fun. Appreciate you hanging out with me. 4-1 in the Standard Best of 3 League. A nice little 7-1 in our Powered Cube draft. Got a bunch of garbage prize packs, but a nice little nest egg of gems. Nice little nest egg of gems starting to accumulate. What did we think about the Powered Cube? Did you guys like that? I mean, I always enjoy Powered Cube. I'm happy to play it on stream. Could be a good, fun thing to do when it's available. It's not always available, but when it is. Otherwise, pretty happy with how Deserts went. Werg Deserts, if you will. Good luck to all of you at your pre-releases. If you have not yet gone to your pre-release, I'll be going tomorrow, I think. That's about it. Watch out for a couple upcoming videos this week or Yeah, this upcoming week. Strixhaven releasing on MTG Arena means I'm going to be picking up the pace a little bit as far as my release goes, like release schedule. I have a bunch of cool desert ideas to tackle with all of the additional cards from Strixhaven. So Powered Cube was really cool. Okay, great. Thank you, Pippin. It's you get to do busted stuff. If you manage to put it all together, you get to do really busted stuff, and there are no hurt feelings in Powered Cube, you know, so that's just how it goes. This is the name of the game. Everyone's kind of on an even playing field. Sometimes you open the Black Lotus Ancestral Recall, sometimes you open garbage and O3 drop, but Rocksteady in the pack, we need to see them with the Earthbend Trample card for real, for real. Oh, okay, a little Rocksteady action. Oh, I got one for you, Munello. You go turn 3, Rocksteady. Turn 4, Fabled Passage, Earthbender Ascension. No, that doesn't work. I was going to say, being able to attack and like sacrifice your Earthbent lands for extra landfall triggers is kind of interesting, actually. But you can't like do a busted turn 4 kill with that, I think. Not enough land drops. Not enough land drops. All right, I'm out, folks. I'm out. Appreciate you hanging out. Have a beautiful night. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you on the next one. Fridays at 2 p.m. Video releases 2 to 3 times a week. Appreciate you stopping by. If you're not in the Discord yet, check out the Discord. It's a fun spot. If you want to give like F&M reports to fellow Magic brewers, people that don't take the game super seriously but still want to win. Yeah. That's all I got. Appreciate